Hello, everyone, and welcome. Mr. Petrosyan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about your research at such a difficult time for Armenia, Artsakh, and the Armenian people. Dr. Petrosyan's talk concludes our lecture series on recent archaeological research in Armenia. The first two talks by Dr. Arsen Bobokhyan on the Dragonstones and Dr. Badalyan on the religion of the Urartu Empire are already uploaded to our YouTube channel for your convenience and can be viewed at any time. Mr. Petrosyan's talk will also be available in the coming few weeks. Mr. Petrosyan is a doctoral candidate and a researcher at the Institute of Archaeology and Ethnography of the National Academy of Sciences of the Republic of Armenia. His background is in archaeology and in museology and conservation of historical sites. He has also completed a number of courses on related topics at the University of Milan and the University of Siena in Italy. Mr. Petrosyan has participated in and co-directed a number of archaeological projects in Armenia, Italy, and the United Arab Emirates. Currently, he is the co-director of an Armenian-Italian mission, an Armenian-Japanese mission, an Armenian-German, and an Armenian-Chinese mission in the Kotay, Kvayotstor, Ararat, and Armavir provinces of Armenia. The scope of his research interest is archaeological method and theory, Neolithic archaeology, lithic industries, lithic analysis and organization of technology, the prehistory of Armenia, the Southern Caucasus, and the Near East. Mr. Petrosyan's talk today is titled New Light on the Neolithization of Armenia and the Southern Caucasus. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Petrosyan. Virtual claps, and Dr. Petrosyan, please take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you for organizing this meeting. Special thank to you, Christine, Dr. Christine Matrosyan-Oshlansky. So thank you for everything, and thank you for all participants and all friends. I see a lot of friends also. So let's share my screen. Okay, can I start? Can you hear me? Okay, so today I will present you about new discoveries of Neolithic period in Armenia. So first So I separate my presentation into three parts. So first I will present you the research of Neolithic in Armenia. Second part will be some new discoveries in Armenia and beyond. And third part is new site, which is we just excavate and just open last 2-3 years. During first person who is starting to study Neolithic and general in Paleolithic in Armenia is the French engineer and archaeologist Jacques de Morgan. When he started to study when he come to Armenia and start to he have opinion that Armenia and all Caucasus there is no Neolithic period. During his stay in Armenia in the 20th century, Morgan have a survey in Araxes mountain and surrounding and collect obsidian artifacts from Araxes and the surrounding region. He published he published a lot of articles and books about Paleolithic and Neolithic in Neolithic, and analyzing the stone tools, he understood that they didn't represent a certain period, but they So they belongs to the Mousterian, Upper Paleolithic and Neolithic periods by their typology. Landing on the last tick to Morgan, scrapped tools are Archaeolithic, Upper Paleolithic and Neolithic, dating them from the Quaternary to Middle period. The level of the level of patina on the tools were based on periodization. The tools with patina he attribute to the Neolithic, and the artifacts with patina he relate to Archaeolithic, Upper Paleolithic period. So in slide you can see map published by Morgan, and this is I separate from different publications of Morgan that instrument which belongs to Neolithic. So, but at that time he just confused which period can be, and this after just. Okay. After Morgan, there was our knowledge of Neolithic period in Caucasus was refined the subsequent research. So Lalayan, he excavates Sheresh Blul date back to Neolithic. Potapov is Ukrainian archaeologist. Samuelian, Bayburtian, but they published books, articles about Neolithic, but first systematic work on the new Stone Age was undertaken by Sandro Sardarian. He published these three books. This book he just prepared, but his daughter is published after his death. So here also, this is that site, Satanic Dar site published by Sardarian, and here I just collect from Sardarian's different publication that blades and that instruments which can be dated back to Neolithic. And also other Soviet researchers like Zamyatnin, Panishkina, they also try to visit that site published by Morgan and collect some artifacts and publish articles. And after this 1960, 1918s undertaken in the lower basin of Kazakh, and so starting to like Torosyan, Sardarian, Aslanian, starting to choose some sites and excavate this site and try to understand and date these sites. And we have to also, very important to know that also Grigory Areshan, that person who is one of the first start to excavate Masis Belur site and date it to Neolithic period. And after in 1999 and a new stage of study of Neolithic and Chalcolithic cultures in Armenia was start to re-excavate to Aratashen, settlement Aratashen, and start to this study of Arat depression. Here you can see that Aratashen site, first year of excavation, and one of the main Propotri Neolithic sites, Kamlos, first year's excavation. So analyzing the history of research in New Stone Age of Armenia, it can be divided to 3 stages. First stage is characterized at the period of collecting and the definition of the material which comes from the accept European standards and phases, division from preliminary system of stone periodization, so Morgan, Panishkina, Sadarian. Second phase is research on certain monuments, separation of Neolithic materials from other materials, and definition of their territorial uniques. Third stage is significant for the systematic and scientific treatment during the research on Neolithic monuments by local and foreign specialists, and it's important to define the technical, morphological uniqueness of the periodization complex and the place of the Armenian Stone Age in World Stone Age. This is one of the tables published by Christine Chatinia et al. So you can see here when after the discovering Khumlo and excavating Aratashen, so we have this situation. So in the early period there is a problem, and also Khumlo is a smaller rock cave, and the materials coming from Khumlo is very difficult to date. So they in this first table they put Khumlo is like 7th millennium. So here in this slide you can see excavation of Aknashen site, which is later Neolithic period, and the Masis Balur. And very important to note that in the these 2 books published in where we can get a total chronology of Armenian archaeology, and so in archaeology of Armenia in regional context, you can see, so pre-pottery Neolithic date back to 10,000 to 6,000, and sites in that period just based to apnagyugh, Khumlo site, and Kuchak 1 and Aratashen 2nd phase. So here I will present you a little bit about excavation of Khumlo site, because the Khumlo or apnagyugh site, which is very important, one of the main sites of early period. So stratigraphy and the main instruments of find which is we find in this site is so-called Khumlo or Khumlo tools. These two, so the Khumlo tool is an important indicator for occupation in the early Holocene period in Armenia, given the fact that Khumlo tools are present in some numbers of all excavated and surveyed sites, which could date back to early Holocene period. This tool class was quite common on people's equipment in that time. The Khumlo tool is defined as a tool having an edge or edges, typically shaped by a step. Here. Continuous and parallel retouch. The retouch edge is situated on the lateral side of the blank, never in the proximal or distal end. In the same cases had visible aberration, as you can see abrasion traces on the surface. So here I won't just present you, but I can because this is other story and other main of because there is many things to say about this connection of Kamlo tools and Chayonyu tools. I will present just a map or because this type of tools we calling Kamlo tools, and in nearest this is these tools is known as Chayonyu tools. You can see that sites were found this type of tool in by typology. This Kamlo and Chayonyu tools is same. And very interesting to note that these tools also distributed in the northern part, so in Georgia. In Georgia, this tools is calling by Lekala tools by Grigoria. He excavated in Soviet time and called this instrument as Lekala. So this is I just want to just show you, but this is I don't want to enter the details because this connection is very interesting and very long story. So here we have so two groups of type of tools or Chayonyu type of tools, and north and south. So one the other interesting sites site is Kuchak, one rock shelter. Also from Kuchak also we have many interesting artifacts, and the main instrument also is also Kamlo tools, and which is interesting in Kuchak we have also this type of reed touch in the arrowheads also, not just in blades. So here you can see radiocarbon date of Kamlo or apnagyugh 8 cave, so which is from 11,600 to 7,500. So here I want to show you that other chronological table published in a book in Stone Age of Armenia. So you can see in early period in published by 2014, early period, in early period there was apnagyugh, Kamlo, Kuchak, Rokshatat, Gerarot, so we adding to new site, comparing that first chronological table, and here we have hiatus. So from 7,500 to 6,000 BC, we have this hiatus. So investigation during the last decade have brought to light to first epipaleolithic period sites in late Pleistocene and proto-Neolithic sites in early Holocene in Armenia, all of which show the existence of mobile population of hunters and gatherers occupying caves and rock shelters in the river canyons, and as well as river terraces in plateaus and hot mountains depression. There is too a problematic chronological cultural gap between the sites and the late Neolithic sites. Investigation at three late Neolithic settlements in Armenia, Aratashen, Aknashen, and Masisbelur, represent the earliest documentation of the food production economy in the territory of Armenia and preserve architecture and ceramic metal production. The most important issue regarding the Neolithization of Armenia is the relationship between early Holocene sites in mountain areas and the middle Holocene Neolithic sites in the Arid plain. This is because there is the hiatus between two groups of sites from a chronological point of view. See 14 days for this period. From the apnagyugh 8 cave range between 11 millennium BC and 8 millennium BC, with the youngest around 7,400 BC. This difference indicated more than 1,300-year hiatus between high elevation early Holocene sites and middle Holocene late Neolithic localities in the Ararat plain that date from 7 to first half of 6 millennium BC. Recent investigation at Lernagog 1 settlement at Areni-2 Cave in Armenia brought to light a number of important discoveries to fill this cave. So here you can see a map showing that border of Ararat depression and hilly area, and here is Lernagog. Excavation of Lernagog we start 2017. Here is a map showing localization of the main archaeological site on geological context with Lernagog area, and Lernagog is here. This is the main view of site. Topo plan of site. So very interesting. In second year excavation we opened this construction, and you can see same construction which we have in Ararat depression. So orthophoto of site. And results, so discovery of the round architecture in 7,000, discovery this second structures which is can be Chalcolithic. So when we speaking about architectural part of in Neolithic period, we must record so in Kamlo Kamlo Kuchak one rock shelter. There was one part of because there is highway which is cut a part of construction, so we found this part of this construction. And also in Georgia, in Paluri, there was the constructions, but not is made by basalt, by stone. And also in northern part of Caucasus, in Chokh, in Dagestan, there was a rock shelter, and which is have this construction. This date back to 8 millennium. So in Lernagog we have this bullet cores, blades, retouched blades, and microliths together, but main things remaining this apnagyugh or Kamlo type of tools. And very interesting finds we have from bone, so beard bone artifacts, stone beads, very important to fix that. We found also grinding stones, which is saying already the domestication of plants maybe. So the bones from this site was generally in poor state of preservation. These elements are often fragile and require to consolidation with palaroid resin before they can be picked up from the soil. An ongoing study of this faunal remains reveals the equids are most abundant species. Generally, the organic materials have not preserved well in Lernagog 1, probably due to exit basalt environment. So, which is very, the other, as I said, the equips is very common in Lernagog, but also not just in Lernagog, also in the other sites date back to early periods. So, like also in Kamlo, main bones is back to Equus, Hemenius, or Kulan. So, which is interesting. Also, this animal we represent in petroglyphs of Geramavan cave, which is date back to early Proto-Neolithic period. So here we can you can see profiles and sections of Lernagog and the radiocarbon dates, which is covering 7,000 to 6,700. Conclusion about Lernagog. Lernagog 1 contains similar clay architecture, the settlements of the Arad plain. Meanwhile, the Latic production still remaining with the dominance of the apnagyugh Kamlo tools. This leads to hypothesize that the origin of the Armenian early farming culture is local, even notable to influence from the southern cultures centers. So the other side, which from the other interesting site I want to present now. So this is Areni-2 Cave, excavated by Armenian-Italian joint expedition with our colleagues Roberto, Priscilla. And here you can see main view of cave. This small cave is not a narrow small cave, but which is interesting in when we start to excavate a cave, we just want to understand we can find some material in this narrow and not I would say not not very beautiful cave, but materials is can very interesting. So you can see excavation and this bone dagger and instruments. And the other side, so which is from where we have early date is Areni-1 Cave. So Areni-1 is very famous to his earliest wine production facility and oldest shoe. But from Areni we have very interesting materials, obsidian artifacts, which is points and scrapers, burins, which can be dated back to early period. So we have here radiocarbon dates from Areni-1 and Areni-2 caves, so which is covering 7,000 to 6,300 BC. Here is a map showing that main early and middle Holocene sites in Armenia, and for conclusion, so we can see that return that chronological table published in book Stone Age of Armenia. So after this book published, so 2014, this how so like 5-7 years we have what we can speak about. We can speak about our apnagyugh Lernagog tradition, and we have complained this hiatus. So we have Lernagog 1, Areni-1, and Areni-2 Cave. So in the region, very interesting dates coming from also from Azerbaijan, Georgia, at Japanese Azerbaijani excavation of Danjili Cave. They have also very interesting radiocarbon dates. So for conclusion, what we can say the excavation and study of the early Middle Holocene archaeological sites in Armenia are in process. Meanwhile, our knowledge for this time period spinning between the 11 to 6 millennium calibrated BC still remaining limited. The early Holocene period archaeological sites, which is the base of the formation of Neolithic culture, show more of less continuous development, distributed by a short-term occupation of caves, rock shelters, and open localities on high elevation, from 1,700 to 3,200 meters from sea, most probably near the migration corridors of the cave. At the end of the first half of 7th millennium BC, there is a notable switch to ecological niches occupation, but early Holocene population who start using lower elevation of 1,200 to 1,000 meters. Especially the northern ranks of the Aral depression. This is the time period when the settlements appear. The second half of the 7th millennium BC is known very poorly, based on the single sites of Armenia, Areni-2 Cave, and the number of the similar occupation of 9 boarding areas, Danjili Cave in Azerbaijan. The late early Holocene population continues their activities in the caves. Starting from 7th and the beginning of 6th millennium BC, the first late Neolithic farming communities appearing in the Ararat Valley, which settlements locating along to Razdan and Kazakh River, situated on the elevation from 900 to 1,000. Meanwhile, the plant and animal samples discovered during the excavation of the early Holocene sites of Armenia are either in a limited or low corresponding study of the near future research. This makes difficult to build a more precise archaeological chart in the initial stages of a Neolithic period in the Armenia and common stages of investigation. So thank you very much. Here is very nice remembers from our first lecture in UCLA.